Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Polygyny actually benefits women. That's right, you heard it correctly. And monogamy, in a sense, benefits men. What do you mean, bro? You always promote polygyny. What's going on? What are you talking about? Well, hold on, and I'm going to explain it. It is a truth, but it has a context. But if you like this video and you like the videos that I make sure that you subscribe and like and share this video, as well as check out the links in the description and support this dawah, support me doing these videos. Alhamdulillah, by your monthly donation, you can actually help me to continue to do this dawah and educate people on these very sensitive topics that most people are not talk about. Now, what do you mean, bro, that polygyny benefits women? Well, you see, in the core and the nature of a woman, women are going to look for a man who is going to improve their life. They want a man who has the ability, the resources, the good looks that they really desire. Yes, a woman can settle for a man that gives certain basics, but it depends. It's relative to what's happening in the society and community. It's relative to what is the value of that man in that time and place where she is. All right, so she can settle for safety or for a man that's her family recommended or whatever. But the truth is, what is she going to desire in the depths of her heart? Why is it that women, when they get married, very traditional women, their family connected them, maybe even arranged a marriage with a certain Ahmed or Abdullah, but they discover later on that she is reading smut or word porn or even watching certain things of certain type of men, and the guy that she's married to is shocked now. There's problems in the marriage. They even end up maybe sometimes divorcing because the man feels betrayed. What the woman was actually doing is she was not able to resist her biology, her desires, where they really stand. She compromised and understood the marriage marketplace, and obviously with push from her family and also certain pressures from society and culture, she finally accepted. But at the core of her desires, she wants something else. And that's where she fantasizes and lives in her mind. Okay? So, because women in general, always, a young woman will always think about some really attractive man who's really, wow, well behaved, has deen and knowledge and also good looks, is going to come and sweep her off her feet. That's what she fantasized about as a little girl, as a young girl. I don't think any woman today fantasizes about taking care of a man's children and of him and paying for him and really looking after him in that sense. I think she fantasized about him looking after her and taking care of her and pleasing her. I don't think any woman today is fantasizing about her husband staying at home, raising the children, her children, while she's out there providing for him. Do any women fantasize about that? So how does polygyny then benefit women? You see, because polygyny kind of links to the deeper fitra of the woman. She wants always a better man, a stronger man. Those men in general, they are very, very strong in knowledge, deen, understanding, money, good looks, and therefore have other women who want them. Do you understand? So, because those type of men are scarce, they're not that readily available. A lot of women are going and do settle for those type of men. They want that type of men. They desire those type of men. And women are going to aim for those type of men. Or settle for the average guy, but still fantasize about that strong, valuable men that all women want. So again, how does polygyny then benefit women? Well, it benefits them because the guy who's going to be able to do polygyny is going to be, let's be honest, the best looking guy. He's going to have the strongest personality. Not always, but in general, he's going to be, inshallah, valuable on so many different levels. Do you understand? So she's going to desire him. So in a sense, that hypergamy, let's call it, is linked to a female's desire. She always wants someone who's going to be better than her. But that person who's going to be better is very, very scarce. There's not a lot of men like that. Therefore, she is going to aim for the men, and so are her friends, and so other women in the society. Do you understand? So it's somehow connected and linked. Now, how does monogamy benefit men then? Well, that's because in monogamous situation, most men are going to have a woman. You understand? Most men, even the weakest, unattractive man, he's going to get somehow married. Whether it is by arranged marriage on the woman, whether it is by force, and because men desire women more than women desire men, guys are gonna, in the end, well, she's beautiful. Women are more beautiful than men overall, 100%. More attractive than men overall, 100%. So for him, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be fine. The question is she gonna be fine? She's probably still gonna be thinking about that 5%, man. Those ones that are really up there. Yeah, she didn't get it, but her heart and her mind is still there. You understand? So monogamy, that if that forced monogamy, well, it kind of ensures that every man in society somehow has a woman. Guys are easier to please. As you know, again, women are beautiful. Women have the goodies, and guys are easier to please. He's gonna be super happy. Question is she gonna be happy? Probably in many cases not. Especially when she starts comparing. Especially where women see the husband of other sisters. To the point that they say, you know what, man? I wouldn't marry actually. I wouldn't mind being a co-wife with that woman for that man, for that, but only for that man. It's not for any man. That's why women don't like polygyny when it comes to in general, to all men. That's why when it's discussed like the way we do, sometimes women get the ick and they start fighting against it. But there's that certain type of man, even if he is married, even if it's with her friend, that she is in her mind thinking, well, yeah, I would for him, but only for him, not for the other ones. All right. So in a sense, polygyny does benefit women because it is in line with their fitra, their desires and attraction, and what they consider of high value and attractive. And they would be willing to compromise, maybe, if society would allow it, if people would be more open to polygyny, or submissive to the rules of Islam in the first sense. And monogamy, in a sense, would benefit men, weaker men in general. Of course, it comes at the not the benefit of that high percentage of men, those high value men, definitely not, because then, well, these men now are taking away women from them. But it benefits men because now every man is going to have, no matter how unattractive he is, no matter how weak he is, no matter what resource he is, he's gonna probably have to have a woman. Now, this is in theory, and that's what I said, it needs to be contextualized. However, this is also presumes one main thing, and that is that men and women in number, marriageable age men and women are exactly the same in number. Right? Exactly the same in number. Then, well, you would think that, well, monogamy is really good, right? We need to have monogamy so everyone has a wife. Every man has a wife and every woman has a man. Makes sense, right? That's what society makes you to think. They always try to equate men and women, to equal them to in numbers, in gender, in abilities, in psychology, in nature, for God's sake. But this is the wrong assumption. First of all, because the number of marriageable men and women are not the same. The marriage market is not the same. In reality, as the Prophet ﷺ told us, there will come a time where, well, man is going to be taken, care of like 40, 50 women. There is an imbalance in the number of marriageable women and marriageable men, 100%. And there's more women than men. And again, also, not to mention, the type of man or the value of man that is marriageable and that women would like to pull towards is a very small number. And that is why, due to the marriage market, due to women's being very picky, their standards are so high and there's so many things that need to be checked, that pushes polygamy actually. Women, let me make it simple, sisters. Because how picky you are and how many requirements you have, it actually creates polygyny. It creates men who are very few, of high value, and you push for that, and those men are usually going to get most of the women, or women will compete for them, or because of societal pressure, shaming, and guilt tripping, women might opt to just not marry at all and stay single because they don't get that type of man, or because there's going to be the stigma of them being a co-wife, and so they'd rather stay single. You understand? So that imbalance in number causes these kind of things, plus women's really pickiness that also causes that, coupled with the fact that there's a lot of weak men, a lot of gay men, a lot of men in jail, a lot of men dying in war, a lot of things. It causes an imbalance in numbers, plus the fact that the type of men that women really want are very few, very few. So that is kind of the explanation of how polygyny and monogamy work. How do they do it? And society, in a sense, I believe there is this conspiracy to push for either no marriage or haram relationships, or whatever they do want to break polygyny, and they want to put women to marry any man, whether he can be married or not, whether he's marriage material or not, whether he's even able to perform or not. That's not what they care. And a lot of it has to deal with, well, taxation, economy, many things. It's not a black and white thing. There's so many different variables that need to be considered. So I kind of simplified it a bit. But let me know what you think, inshallah. And definitely check out the links in this video and the description, and support the dawah. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.